Thank you for joining this webinar today. Today we are going to talk about the conferencing innovations from Biamp. So let's start with the slides deck. My name is Mauro Barbieri. I'm Field Sales Engineer at Biamp.
And I'm Giulio Ferrari. I'm an Applications Engineer, also at Biamp. And today we're hosting this webinar from our offices in Italy, so welcome. And let's quickly see the agenda for today, which includes an overview of a few conferencing and collaboration products that Biamp is introducing, starting from the Max Connect, which is Biamp's new flagship product for wireless BYOD, BYOM collaboration. And we will jumpstart the meeting with a demonstration, a live demo of this product, so we can really see it in action in a live demo. And we will see a short presentation of the features and the core concepts that are at the heart of this solution. Just a note, we will see a preview of this product, so there might be a few differences between what you'll see today and the product that will be released to the market. Then we will see the Easy Connect MPX 100, which is a flexible solution that gives the possibility to add BYOM possibility to a UC room, dedicated UC room. So very powerful solution. We will see how this can help us in reaching this flexibility. And then the Parlé N100, which is a network enabler for our line of conferencing bars, the ABC and the VBC. So it gives network connection for maintenance and monitoring to the audio and video bars. And at the end, we will have time for a Q&A session. Feel free to send your question in the webinar chat already, and we will be happy to answer all the questions at the end. But let's start with a small quick introduction to the Max Connect.
Yeah, thank you, Giulio. So let's start talking about Max Connect, this very nice BYOM solution. And let's talk about the use case. So nowadays, most of the organization decide and choose a UC platform for their communication, and of course adopt that UC platform in the meeting space. This is quite common. For example, installing one of our Lenovo Biamp UC room system, MTR or Zoom room, for example, in the meeting room. That's very common, but sometimes more flexibility is required. Flexibility to use more UC platforms, so the UC platform of your choice or more than one. Again, today is quite common to use more than one single platform, and your own device. So this is the use case. Instead of dedicating a single UC configuration to the room, open the room to a more flexible configuration. So this is the use case that we are going to talk about. And the answer is Max Connect, this solution that, as we say, is bringing to you the room experience with the advantage of the BYOM. So the advantage of using and bringing your own meeting into the room. But let's start with the demo.
Yes, let's start and see a live demonstration of the Max Connect solution. And which are the ingredients in this for this experience? Well, first of all, we are in a meeting room, typical medium meeting room. So we have the typical meeting room equipment. We have a room display. In this case, it's a touch enabled display, and we will use this feature in a moment. Then we have one of Biamp's bar, the VBC 2500, just installed below the TV. Both are connected to the heart or the brain of the system, which is the Max Connect unit you see on the credenza. So USB connection to the VBC, HDMI and USB connection to the TV, USB, as we said, for the touch capabilities of the screen. Then, something which is also included in the package of the Max Connect is the remote control. From here, I can have access to the control of the meeting and the session and the peripherals that are in the room, as we will see in a moment. Plus the optional touch controller, which is the Touch 8 Max. It's a network device that allows participants to be in control of the meeting and the room peripherals as well. And then we have plenty of different devices, laptops, smartphones, and tablets, and we will see how they can connect and interact for the best experience in the collaboration. We already see on the TV, there's a welcome screen that is giving us all the information we need to connect. We have the room name, meeting room in this case, and we have the session ID. It's a 4-digit code that I am required to enter when I want to join the session for security. Then we have the time, we have the weather forecast, and at the bottom right, we have the integration with the calendars. There's possibility to connect the Max with Google or Microsoft Calendar for scheduling the meeting room resources. And then 2 different ways of connect. It's called internal and guest. These are basically the 2 network interfaces that the Max Connect is offering. One is a wired network solution, and this is typically used by employees in a company that can connect by remaining in their own usual Wi-Fi. So I'm coming into the meeting as an employee of the company. I am already on the company Wi-Fi. I don't need to change the network to be able to connect. It's just a very straightforward way to connect. And then the guest access is actually the possibility for guests to connect directly to the Max Connect onboard access point. So 2 different ways of connecting to different network interfaces that can be used together in the same session. But let's connect a few devices and see how the system is working. So I'll start with a laptop with my Mac here. And in this case, I'm using the Max app, which I already have installed on the system. So I open the app and I need to enter the session ID to connect. I am now connecting. It says that Giulio joined the session, so I can already see on the screen, and the number of participants has increased. It's now 1. I hit the share button, decide that I want to share the entire screen, and I'm sending already the content of my laptop screen to the Max Connect. Now let me add another device. It's an iPad in this case. I'm using a different technology to connect. I'm using AirPlay, as the Max supports a number of protocols, native protocols. So I select the room I want to connect to, and I start sharing. Let me share something a bit more meaningful. The map of where we are, you can see the latency is really good, so the system is reacting in real time to what I'm doing right now. And then Mauro, you can also join with your computer.
Yes, thank you, Giulio. Now I'm simulating to be the 3rd participant. I have a Windows laptop here, even me with the Max app. I have to enter the session ID, so that the only information I need to connect. So it's 9UNR. I type the session ID. And as a first reaction about the system, I'm receiving one of the presentation. So that's very useful, because as a participant, in this case, I can see directly on my user device exactly the content of the presentation. And using a side menu with the thumbnails of the active presentations, I can switch from one presenter to the other presenter. So now I decide to receive the presentation from the iPad, or I can switch back to the presentation from the Mac. So, and now I am in, let's say, participant mode, just following the presentation. But what I want really to do is to start a call. So I start sharing with the app. So I click on the share button, and I decide to share my entire screen, and I'm start sending my desktop to the room display and to all the participants. For this demo today, we are going to use Zoom. And the most important thing that I need to do before the call is to open the Zoom settings and select the room equipment that I want to use from Zoom. So, for example, I go on the video section of the Zoom configuration, and I can select the feed from the available camera. So now I'm receiving the feed from the Max camera. So as you can see now, I'm using the room camera directly on Zoom. And the same for the microphone and the loudspeaker. So I'm using the BBC 2500, that is the equipment of the room, but on the UC platform of my choice, directly on my user device.
Again, another way to connect, I'm using my smartphone to connect. Again, I'm using the app, and I need to enter the code to be able to join the session. And when I do that, I start receiving, just like we saw with the Windows laptop, I start receiving the streams, and I can choose which stream I want to receive on my device. Plus, there's a nice unique feature. I can just tap the multicam icon, and I start sending the stream from my phone, from my device, instead of the room camera. So I can temporarily take over, send my stream from my device, and the same can be done from any device here, any laptop. Maybe because I want to be framed in foreground, or maybe I can just switch to the other back camera from the phone, and I can show a technical detail. I want to send to the remote location a picture, a video of technical detail. I can do that directly from my phone. And when I tap the multicam icon again, the camera is back to the room AV camera. So very flexible solution to be able to temporarily change the stream to one of the participants' devices. So different ways to connect different streams that are appearing on the room display. How do we manage, how do we handle all these streams? Well, in this case, we mentioned we have a touch TV, so we can use that. There's a small B logo at the bottom left. We can use that as a menu to open the control interface of the Max Connect. Here I have a live preview of all the streams, and I can just tap on one of the streams to hide it or to receive it again. So I have full control over the system right from here, from this place. There's a flag, a display all. When this is selected, all the streams are sent and received automatically to the TV, are shown automatically on the TV. If I disable this flag, I have some kind of moderation. I receive the preview, I receive the thumbnails of the stream, but I need to manually accept the stream to be able to show it to the TV. This can be useful. For example, think of a teacher with a class. They don't want to immediately show everything that is being sent. They want to have control over the content. You can have it with this system. I can have up to 5 streams, 5 presenters at the same time. plus a sixth stream, which is a shared whiteboard that I can use to annotate, write content, just like this. There's a tool with a palette and different design tool that I can use to create a nice Picasso artwork here. But I can also annotate on the other content, not just the whiteboard, which is a shared whiteboard, just a stream like the others, but I can also annotate, for example, on this one. And this will be reflected on the device as well. So I'm annotating here, it's received here as well. I could annotate, for example, on Mauro's computer.
Yes, and as you can see, I received the annotation from Giulio, but I can collaborate, so I can even annotate. Now I'm using just the finger on the trackpad, so that's. But this is a very interesting way to collaborate during a brainstorming session. Anyone can work on any surface, so on the whiteboard, but also on every presentation. And everyone received the annotation of all the participants. So very, very interesting collaboration tool.
So full control over the meeting content, the streams, but also control on the room peripherals. We already saw that we have the BBC 2500 connected. We can receive the stream with the UC client of our choice. From here, I can also have control on that peripheral as well. So now I'm seeing a preview of the camera, and I can choose if I want the auto frame feature to be enabled. I can mirror, flip, pan, tilt, zoom the camera. I can store presets and recall them from here. So full control. Basically, it's the same control that you have with the camera controller app that you can install on a Windows or a Mac computer. From here, directly from the Max Connect. So a lot of possibilities from here with the touch screen, but what if I don't have a touch screen, or maybe I'm far away and I don't want to use it?
Yeah, that's very easy and comes with a remote control that is in the package. The remote control has a B button, and when I click on the B button, I open exactly the same window that Giulio was using from the touch panel. So in case I don't have a touch panel, no problem, I can use the remote. I select the presentation, so I can hide or show a feed, and I can go in the equipment configuration for changing the level of the audio, muting the audio. So all the meeting room can be controlled here. So, and more than this, we have the touch panel that is an optional. So this is optionally available together with Max Connect. This is a very nice piece of device that you can put on your meeting table. From here, you have exactly the same control that you have on the touch surface or using the remote control. So as Giulio is doing now is activating or removing the presentation from the participant. So plenty of options from the touch display to the remote control, and even with an optional touch panel to be used directly on the meeting table.
So full control on the meeting content, full control on the peripherals, a lot of different ways to connect regardless of the type of device that your participants in the meeting are using. And one last option is the HDMI cable. In fact, the Max Connect has a HDMI port, and just by plugging a cable into the unit, maybe a cable that is coming from the table here, you can connect any laptop or computer, and that becomes another video stream that is presented together with all the wireless streams.
Yeah, so for a maximum of 5 presenters can be on the room display plus the whiteboard. So this is a maximum of 6 feeds managed on the room display. But now we go back to the slides for a recap about what we saw. We have the power supply, of course, the PoE network. So you have the option to power the unit using PoE. A couple of USB ports for connecting devices, camera, or the USB cable from the touch display for the touch functionality. Then HDMI in, about the possibility to connect directly a laptop using the cable and presenting the content in this way, as Giulio said before, and the HDMI out for driving the content to the room display. The last port is a USB-C port, very useful for connecting, for example, our BBC 2500. And this is the typical installation, exactly what we have now in this room. So the unit is connected to the network and to the company Wi-Fi. To the network, we connected also the Touch 8 Max. The touch display is connected using two cables, HDMI and USB for the touch display, and the BBC 2500 to be used as a camera and audio for the meeting. How to connect personal devices? HDMI cable, again, as we said before, or Wi-Fi. This is the most common way to connect devices on the Wi-Fi. As Giulio said during the demo, we have two possibilities. One is using the Wi-Fi infrastructure of the organization, of the company, and the second one is to connect directly to the integrated access point available in the Max Connect. This integrated access point is very useful, especially for giving a guest access to your guest coming into the room. Maybe they don't have access to the company infrastructure for security reason or for many reasons. Very easy, follow the instruction on the welcome screen and connect your guest laptop directly to the integrated access point. Very easy. Talking about the welcome screen, we have plenty of information, the room name, session ID for joining the session, time and weather, the calendar, a status bar where we can see how many people are in the meeting, and the information about the two ways to connect to Max Connect. So internal or infrastructure connection, IP address, name of the unit, or guest, SSID and password. The entire welcome screen can be customized. So you can change the background, you can change the information available on the welcome screen, you can change the logo. Everything can be tailored on your needs. How to collaborate? Very easy. Just install the Max Connect app and type the session ID, and in this way, with a few clicks, you join the session. About the option, we have many options to collaborate. The first one that we saw is the Max app, available for Windows, Mac OS on both platforms, Intel and Silicon, M1 and 2, iOS, Android, and with the Max app, you have the full feature set. So you can share, you receive the sharing from the other participant. We call it rebroadcast. You can annotate over the whiteboard or over the presentations. The BYOM, so being able to use the platform of your choice available on your personal device, but with the advantage of the room equipment, so using the room camera and the room audio. At the end, the multicam, that is the possibility to switch from the room camera to your own camera on the personal device for many purposes. So to have a better framing, or to send to the remote end a product detail, or use, for example, a document camera. Another option is to use a browser. In this way, you do not need to install any app. So Everyone has a browser on the laptop. Just start Chrome, for example, or Edge or Safari. Type the ID session, and you can join the meeting. And you can share your content, use the rebroadcast, so receive the other presentation, annotate over the presentation, change the camera using your personal device camera, the multicam. Very important to underline that in this way, BYOM is not available. So if you want to host the call, you need to use the Max app, but if you are not hosting the call, you are a participant just providing content, the browser is just enough. And especially this is very useful for the guests. The guests usually come in the meeting room. Most of the time, the guests are not hosting the call, just providing content. The browser is very, very good for them. Another possibility that Giulio was showing you in the demo is to use the native protocols on the mobiles, as AirPlay, for example. Miracast is coming and will be available with a future firmware update, Google Cast, and with these native protocols, you have the possibility to share content. And again, we underline that in this way, BYOM is not available. Last option that you have is the cable. So instead of connecting to the network, just plug HDMI cable and start sending your content. This, again, is another very interesting option, especially for the guest. The system is automatically arranging the content, up to 5 presenters plus the whiteboard, including the possibility to manage different aspect ratios. So if you are mixing content from laptop and from mobile, no problem, Max Connect is able to manage. You can work as a moderator, so enabling or disabling content from the presenter just with the remote. Click on the B button and hide or show the presentation coming from the different presenters. The same as we saw is available using the touch display or the Touch 8 Max. So using the Touch 8 Max with a very simple process, you can show or hide the presenters. And a few words about rebroadcast. What is rebroadcast? Very easy. You send the content from the personal device to Max Connect, and so you are showing your content on the room display. At the same time, the same content is available on the receiver. So any participant connected to the session receive the same content. In case you have more than one presenter, the receiver select the content that want to receive on personal device. So this is really, really useful, especially if you are far away from the display or if you want to have a better view about the content of the meeting. Few numbers: HDMI output at 4K, streaming quality automatically adapts to the available bandwidth, up to 12 participants, so 12 devices can join the session and receive the rebroadcast and work on annotation. Maximum 5 presenters at 1080p 30 frames, plus the whiteboard shared among the participants. On the whiteboard, anyone can annotate and receive the annotation, and the same is available on the content of the meeting, so over the presenter's content. Any device, anyone can annotate on shared whiteboard and shared content. About BYOM, it's the platform of your choice on your laptop. So Max Connect lets users choose their favorite platform. So no strings, no single UC platform available in the room, but plenty of options. Even the same participant can change in different meetings, can change the UC platform, and can be any platform available from the laptop. The process to use the room peripherals is more or less the same on every platform. Just select max speaker in the speaker selection, max microphone, and max camera. So that's very easy. In this slide, we see the Teams configuration. During the demo, we saw Zoom, so more or less it's the same for every platform. So about the remote end, if you want to send content to the remote end and keep the meeting equity, so anyone receive the same content in presence and remote, very easy. The host of the call share the room view with the remote end, and exactly the same way a receiver select from the available presentation the feed that want to receive, the host of the call decide what presentation sent to the remote end. So in this way, locally or remotely, anyone receive the same content. Multicam, that's very nice feature. In this way, it's very easy to switch from the room camera to the camera on the personal device for framing, showing participant in foreground, for framing product detail, or even to be used as a document camera. So it's a nice additional feature offered by Max Connect. With the remote control, very easy to control the Biamp bars, in this case VVC 2500. You can zoom, mute audio and video, change the level of the audio, and pan, tilt, and set and recall presets. Exactly the same thing that you can do with the B button and remote, opening the control window on the room display, where you can again control the camera configuration. For example, in this slide we show that it's possible to select and recall the camera presets. Exactly same thing. The same window that you have on the display is available on the Touch 8 Max controller, the touch panel that you can place on your meeting table. About management of the Max Connect, very easy. You reach the Max Connect with your browser for the configuration, update of the firmware, and the same with Sage View. Sage View operation will be available with a future firmware update, and Sage View is the management system that Biamp use for the entire portfolio. So using the browser or Sage View, we can remotely control Max Connect for checking the status of the unit, receiving alerts, or configuring all the features of the Max Connect, upgrade Max Connect. But also, in this way, with the browser or the Sage View, we control the connected peripheral. So we're talking about the VD or the ABC and VVC, very easy to upgrade the firmware on the cameras, configure the bars, for example, the same configuration available with the Biamp Control app. And very important, we can remotely start the launch process on the bar. You know that the launch process is the Biamp process that adapt our conferencing system to the acoustic of the room, analyzing the acoustic and doing all the process of equalization of the microphone, the loudspeaker, controlling of the noise reduction. And this is all available in the launch process that can be started remotely using Sage View, for example, or locally on the bar, just clicking one button. Now let's talk briefly about the Connect MPX 100. That is another product in this presentation. What is the use case for the MPX 100? Very easy. Whenever you have a meeting room with a UC room system installed, and you need to open the room to another platform or to multiple platforms, to the BYOM model, you can use the MPX 100. So we say that the MPX 100 is making any dedicated UC room BYOM friendly. How it works? Very easy. This is the typical configuration of a meeting room where you have a room system. Of course, you connect the display and the room peripherals. In this case, it's a VPC, could be a camera and an audio platform, to the room system. In case you bring your laptop, it's not so easy to replace the connection and connect the display and the room peripherals to your laptop. Not so easy. But with the MPX 100, this becomes very, very easy. So you keep the connection of the room system to the room equipment through the MPX 100, and then you can connect your laptop to the MPX 100. In this way, when you plug the HDMI cable, the system is switching and is sending your desktop to the room display. And when you plug the USB cable, you are using the room camera and the room audio. So that's very easy. So in this way, every time you have a room system in a room, but you want to use your own laptop because you want to use a different UC platform, that's easy. Connect your laptop to the MPX that is in the middle between the room system and the room equipment, and that's easy. When you want to revert back to the UC system, it's very easy. Unplug the HDMI cable and all the peripherals, all the room equipment go back to the room system. So that's very easy. And again, the use case, the typical use case is, for example, a Zoom call in a Teams room. This is the picture of the ports on the back of the MPX 100 in a situation where we have a dedicated UC room in the room. So HDMI and USB to the room system, and the other HDMI and USB to the room equipment, very easy. And we have another set of ports, HDMI and USB, for the connection of the BYOM. And when you plug the BYOM device, you send the content to the display and use the USB peripherals. In the package, you also have 1 meter HDMI and USB cable for the connection of the room system, 1 meter HDMI and USB cable for the connection of the room display and the peripherals, and 5 meters cables for the connection of your laptop. When the system is installed in a large room, medium large room, like in this picture, we have a system with our Parlé microphones, for example, maybe 5 meters is not enough. What if 5 meters is not enough? Biamp has longer cables in the portfolio, so it's 10 meters and 15 meters active cables, both for USB and HDMI, are available and compatible with the MPX. So in that case, we supply optional cables up to 15 meters. About the management, same of Max Connect. It's possible to connect a browser to the MPX 100 for monitoring and management, and Sage View that will be available with a future firmware update. And what I can do with this browser option or Sage View, I can control the Easy Connect MPX 100 and upgrade the firmware on board, but also I can manage the connected peripherals. For example, upgrade the firmware on the ABC, DVC, and VD, configure the ABC, DVC, and VD250, and remotely start the launch. Again, I don't need to be in the room and click the button on the VBC bar, but remotely the IT management can start the launch from the browser or SageView. So just a very quick recap. No drivers, so we do not need to install any software for using the MPX 100. Multiple USB ports for cameras, microphones, or touchscreens. HDMI for display up to 4K and support for 4K cameras. We have now the last product of the presentation, the Parlé N100, that is a network enabler for Biamp bars and VV250. So in this way, through this network gateway, we connect the Biamp bars and VV250 to the network for control and management and maintenance. So we have the USB port for the connection to the UC computer or laptop, the USB port for the connection to the peripherals, the USB-C, for example, for the connection to the Parlé bar, and the network for the connection to the SageView, for example. This is the typical installation, and using the network, I can control, configure, update the VBC, for example, in this picture. So with this Parlé N100, it's possible to upgrade, for example, the firmware on the ABC, VBC, and VD250, configure this set of peripherals, and remotely start the launch process. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for participating to this webinar. I hope this was useful, and see you next time.
Thank you, and see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.